Welcome, my name is Catherine. This episode is the 2026 final tag. I'll be answering 20 questions created by David Atkinson. Thank you, David. And I have the questions written on this clipboard with the answers. The first question is, show your best vinyl or other music purchase of 2025. I think my best purchase, or one of my best purchases, I just bought this recently. I'm really happy to find Owl City, the song Fireflies, which was an international hit, and the B-side is Vanilla Twilight. It's always nice to find a new record, a newer one, in a bunch of oldies. So that's number one. Number two, share your favorite live music experience of 2025. I actually had three. I'll share my first one, which was in May of 2025. I saw Simple Minds, a live and kicking tour, their 40th anniversary, and the opening bands were Modern English and Soft Cell. And I had a really good seat, and I liked how Jim Kerr interacted with the audience. He sang facing the right, left, front, and even acknowledged the people in the faraway seats. And I was sitting to the left, and he came close to where I was sitting, and I waved, and he gave me a thumbs up. And I took a really good picture of Jim Kerr, and I'll show it to you now. Number three, your vinyl collection in 10 years. Is it bigger, smaller, or about the same? Well, I'm hoping it stays close to the same. I don't want my collection to grow too big in case I have to move someday. And I also have limited space. Question number four, you move into a new house. You play one record up to 11 to announce your arrival. What is it and why? That record would be Bob Marley and the Wailers, Exodus, Movement of the People. And there's just a lot of positive songs on here, like Three Little Birds, Don't Worry About a Thing, Everything's Gonna Be Alright. And One Love, One Heart, Let's Get Together and Feel Alright. This is a good record. So that's what I would play. Number five, show two albums, one each for your favorite male singer and female singer. I would say my favorite male singer is John Denver. He's a tenor, and he has a beautiful voice, and he has quite the octave range. He can go lower and higher into falsetto. I'm showing his Windsong album because of the song Calypso. His voice really soars on this album, and it's a beautiful song. And let's see, number six. We like to have fun here. Show your top soul dance records. I'm going to show 45s for this one. I have three that I pulled here. I've got all my records in a box and trying to keep these organized. The first one is the Pointer Sisters, and it's Automatic. I think this is a really catchy, fun song. Let's put that back there. And the Spinners, Rubber Band Man. That'll get everybody up and dancing. And I loved this song when I was in grade school. It's the Jacksons on the Epic label. Enjoy Yourself. Those are my three fun dance songs. And number seven, a real stinker. Nominate a track you hate from an album you love and why you hate it. And hate's a strong word. I don't actually hate this song. It's just very different on the album. The album I'm going to show is Enya's A Day Without Rain from 2000, Track 4 is called Tempest Vernon. I can say this. Vernum. I call it a spooky song. It's a little darker, but it's written in Latin and it depicts a ship at sea in a storm. Most of this album is calm, and then that song comes on, but it's like a movie. There's like a danger scene. Question number 8. If you could pick one record from each decade from 1960 to 2010, which would it be? For 1960, I'm going to choose Rubber Soul by the Beatles. This is one of my favorite Beatles records, and my favorite track is In My Life by John Lennon. For 1970, Back Home Again by John Denver. This was on my radar in grade school. We used to sing John Denver songs in music class. And on here we sang Thank God I'm a Country Boy and Grandma's Featherbed. And he also performed Grandma's Featherbed on The Muppet Show. For 1980, this is a go-to record, Duran Duran Rio. I like every song on here. We have the title track Rio, Hungry Like the Wolf, Save a Prayer, New Religion, and the 2 album tracks Hold Back the Rain and Last Chance on the Stairway are favorites. For the 1990s, a CD I listened to quite a bit, especially in college, because it helped me with anxiety. REM, Automatic for the People. I think every song on here is good. I always enjoyed The Sunwater Sleeps Tonight, Sweetness Follows. My favorite is Night Swimming because I like the piano melody, and Find the River, a nice closing calm song. And for 2000, I listened to this a lot. U2, All You Can't Leave Behind. I like the song Beautiful Day and A Moment You Can't Get Out of, the song for Michael Hutchence. I think all the songs on here are good, and it holds up today too as well. And for the 2010s, I found this album this year at a flea market, Sting's 57th and 9th Street. This is a rock and roll record, and it's pretty good, and it's on blue vinyl, and I'll show this to you. Very pretty. Number 9. You get the opportunity to spend a day alone, walking a mountain trail, the beach, or hanging out in the city. Who would that artist be? I'm going to say Harry Wayne Casey of Casey and the Sunshine Band. I went to his concert in August, and he likes to meet fans, and that improves my chances. What is the question I'd like to ask? I really don't know, because I feel like I know everything about him. I've watched his interviews online, and I also read his biography on his website. So I know what his musical influences are, and I know a lot about his history. I think I would just... He's an extrovert, so I think I'd let him do the talking, and then I know what to say. And I would show him my t-shirt and tell him I like the logo. Number 11. Show a record that always brings a tear to your eye. This is a 45. I have a 45 single of Don Henley. It's Heart of the Matter. And this song talks about, it's about divorce, but it talks about forgiving. And forgiving is sometimes a hard thing to do when someone hurts me. So it's a lesson in forgiveness. And the line that really gets to me in this song, or it touches my heart and makes me feel feelings. There are people in your life who come and go. They let you down, you know they hurt your pride. You gotta leave it all behind you, baby, 'cause life goes on. If you keep carrying that anger, it'll eat you up inside. And those are good words to follow. Number 12. Show 3 artists you've tried to love, but you question why you bother. And I don't buy things I don't like. But sometimes people give me things, and a neighbor in my community, friends of my parents, gave me some CDs, and they had no jewel cases or booklets, and they were in a Ziploc bag. And it's always a bummer when that happens because I like the jewel cases and they're just valueless. Can't even sell them when they're like that. But I'll show 2. I told myself when I was going to listen to all these CDs, I'm going to give them a chance. And the first one is Camila Cabello's debut album. It had the song Havana. It's right here. That's the only song I knew on it. And it has several tracks, and it's about 35 minutes. And the reason I can't get into it, I was reading the information online about the songs and the writers. There's at least 6 to 10 writers on each song. And I don't think there's any instruments being played. It's all electronic. And I just can't get into that kind of music. I like bands. And on the reverse side, I don't really enjoy ZZ Top music. That kind of guitar playing sounds kind of noisy to me. And for third, I don't enjoy heavy metal music. 13. Show an album from an artist who disappoints you. Can you separate the artist from the art? I think so when it comes to some songs and some music, but I won't go see that artist in concert. And I'm going to say it's Madonna because of her behavior. I think some of the things she does just conflicts with my values. And that's all I want to say, because my channel is not about putting artists and music down. So I don't really talk about that. And I just need to find the album. It's this one. I think it's one of her best. The songs I really like on here are, I like Express Yourself. I think that's a good girl power song. These are some songs that are also tear jerkers, like Oh Father, Promise to Try, and the song that's a lullaby. And I like Cherish on here. That's a beautiful song. If you had to sell your vinyl along with your record player, show an album you would hang on to. I'm glad this is pretend because I don't really want to sell them. And I'm going to show this is a rare John Denver album. It's an import from '97 before he died that he only released in the UK, and I got this online. And sometimes this CD, I see it now and it sells for about $200. Number 15. Discuss your VC highlight in 2025. If it's a video, leave a link to it. It can be a meetup or event. I'll just say my concert vlogs do the best. And it just goes to show that people like those bands. And my video this year that got the most views was Casey and the Sunshine Band. It got 6,000.4 views. And this is my Casey and the Sunshine comp. This is all I have. It's got all his hits on it. And I'll leave a link in that video if you'd like to watch it. What I do is I just introduce myself, invite people to join me, and I show the venue, the merch, and I show parts that I can that don't give me copyright strikes, and maybe little clips of a few songs. But they seem to do pretty well. And some people in the comments say, thanks for not giving things away. I have a ticket to that show in the future. And it's just fun to read the comments of people who are fans of the same artist. Okay, next page. Oh, there's something I forgot. I forgot to share my favorite female artist in the previous question. And that would be Annie Lennox. I have her Rhythmics compilation. I like those songs. But I really like this album. I think her voice is beautiful. I like Walking on Broken Glass and Little Bird that were the singles. But I enjoy every song on this album. Okay, just going to turn the page over. "16. Name your favorite music biopic, if you have one." Well, I don't really think I have a favorite, but I do go see those movies and I enjoy it, especially if it's an artist that I like the music, such as the Bob Marley movie, and I went and saw the Bruce Springsteen. And I do own one because I found it for $1 at the thrift store. And I have Queen Bohemian Rhapsody, and I just love the final scene of Live Aid when he sings those songs. So that's why I have it. I just enjoy those memories. And let's see here. Name why jazz matters. Well, I honestly didn't know the answer to this question right away, but I know jazz must matter. So what I did was I did a search on YouTube and just typed in jazz history. And I found a really cool video. I'm just trying to find the page here. It's by George Lucas Films, the guy that did Star Wars and Indiana Jones. And it was a really good documentary, and I'll leave a link to that. The title was Jazz Rhythms of Freedom, a historical documentary. And it was an hour long, and it's from a year ago. And I just took 3 points from the transcript. So number 1, I'm going to just read this. Its birth is in America. Jazz emerged from the struggles of disfranchised people in America, particularly enslaved Africans, who used music as a means to communicate and self-expression when language was denied to them. The second point is music is liberation. Enslaved African people were allowed to keep their music, using it to communicate and endure harsh conditions. There were field hollowers and work songs that became ways to share sorrow and find strength. And these songs weren't written down. It just came from their hearts and souls. They just made them up as they went. So a lot of spontaneous improvisation. And third point has to do with New Orleans being a melting pot. After the Civil War, many African slaves were freed and they settled in New Orleans, a multicultural city where African, French, Spanish, German, Irish, Caribbean blended together to form jazz. And I thought this was really a miracle. And then the documentary goes on and introduces some of these early people that pioneered the genre. And then in the 1920s, or when the phonograph record was invented, on 78s, jazz just spread all the way across the United States, Chicago, New York, and into Europe. So I found it to be a really interesting documentary, and again, I'll leave a link in the description if you'd like to watch it. Jazz really does matter, but I don't have any jazz records. And then the next question is 18. You are an innocent man or woman on death row. They give you one musical request. What would you ask for? Well, the first album that came to my mind was Billy Joel, Innocent Man, and my song on here is called Keeping the Faith. My favorite line is, gonna put on my 45s, ain't it great to be alive when the rock and roll plays? Yeah, and the memories stay, yeah, 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 I'm keeping the faith. And in that video, Billy performs that song, and they let him go, so maybe they'll let me go too. 19. Sell your favorite artist to a new listener. Show one essential album and explain why to make time for it. Well, I'm going to choose my favorite artist to be Elton John. And you may ask, well, everybody knows who Elton John is. I think most people like his 70s output, especially before Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy when he was with the Elton John band. But I like some of his 80s songs because I was a teenager in the 80s, and I like I'm Still Standing. I guess that's why they call it the Blues and Neon, and his tribute to John Lennon, Hey Hey Johnny, Empty Garden. I'm going to just show one album that I think is worth listening to. It's actually his best-selling 80s album. It's called Sleeping with the Past. And I think every song on here is great. I have them listed here. Healing Hands, Club at the End of the Street, Sacrifice, and Blue Avenue. And he's with Bernie Taupin again on this, doing the writing. And it's worth a listen. And yeah, give it a listen. And my last question. You are arranging a VC meetup in 2026. Excluding those who are already met, invite 3 people you'd like to meet. I'll just say there's many people I'd like to meet. I watch a lot of YouTube channels that are in the vinyl community. Sometimes I just watch anything that comes up on my home screen that's recommended to me. It's interesting just to meet people. So my first choice is Jen's Addiction. She's the same age as me and she loves 80s music, so I think we have a lot in common. Number 2, the Auditory Vinyl, Doug. I love his collection. He appreciates things that probably a lot of people don't appreciate, but I do. And I have some of the same records with him. I'll just give a few examples like Andy Williams, Barbra Streisand, Neil Diamond, Barry Manilow. He has all kinds of things in his collection. And number 3, Mark, Mad for Vinyl. I think he's a Gen X as well, and I like the music he shows on his channel, and especially the 45s. I thank you for watching. I just want to apologize if my video seemed a little fragile. I'm somewhat distracted. I subscribe to some travel channels, and I just want to share that on December 22nd, a longtime content creator named Adam the Woo, who does travel vlogs and adventures, he passed away. And it was such a shock to his community. And I was one of his subscribers. He was only 51 years old. So I'm really going to miss his content. The reason why I liked him, he was Gen X. He loved 80s music. He had a record collection. Sometimes on his trips he'd buy records and show us. He was also a big Back to the Future fan, and he vlogged the Universal Studios 40th anniversary. And I've watched his channel for a long time, and I'm really going to miss his content. So I want to just say, hope there's many blessings in the new year. I look forward to going to concerts. Take care, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye.